For this install, first thing we're going to do is pop this little spot off right here. I'm using a small flathead screwdriver. It might be more ideal to use like a little trim tool to pop that out, just to help prevent any marring from the factory piece. You got a 7mm socket here you got to use to remove this bolt. You will not reuse this bolt or that little cover piece again, so just put it somewhere where you can find it later should you ever decide to take this thing off. I always recommend doing that because, you know, a couple years from now, if you want to sell this piece and put it back to stock, you need to know where all that stuff is, so be a lot less hectic. Anyway, up here you take your Torx bolts loose on the grab handle. You'll take those all the way out, but you know, in my case, I left the handle itself in just because you don't really need to take the handle piece off because the piece mounts on top of it, as you'll see here in a minute. So I just leave it sitting there. It tries to come out, but I stop it. So just want to point that out to you guys. Alright, so here's what comes in the package. The Molle panel itself, as you can see, is pretty straightforward as far as the way it's mounted. These two holes will fit here where the bracket is, and then there's a hole back here that fits down where the piece that came out we took out earlier. You do have a spacer and a bolt, so this end will fit. The spacer between this hole and this bolt goes in where that factory 7mm bolt was at earlier. And then you take the two bolts that came with the handle, these right here with the Torx bits, you put these in here on top of the handle right here. So it's a pretty cut and dry install, nothing too fancy. You also have, you know, a barcode for instructions, of course. The decal, which is most important because that adds horsepower. So Mountains2Metal, pretty solid piece, pretty straightforward. So we'll put this on here in just a second. One thing to note, there is a lip here on the bottom of this. I forgot to mention this in the earlier recording. So you have to put this lip under at least this ledge right here. Anyway, you snake that up under there, and then you line these up with these holes, and then you start drilling everything in. Spacer and bolts. Alright, so it's on. Like I said, it took less than just a couple of minutes. Alright, so I did forget to mention you need a 3mm hex head to drive this back bolt in here where the spacer is. As you can see, it's in there pretty good. So, can't really see back in there too good. But anyway, this was all relatively very easy. It only took maybe not even 5 minutes to do. I don't really know what I'm going to put on here yet, but I know I wanted this. So, if you guys have anything you're using yours for, want to hit me up with some suggestions, please feel free to comment below. I'll be happy to take any suggestions you guys got. Obviously, I got my mic mounted up here on the dash kit, but I'm thinking flashlights, you know, maybe a couple other things here and there. Nothing major. It's just something handy to have. So anyway, hope you guys like this video. Like I said before, please like and subscribe. Hit that alert button. Got more to come.